spirituality. What does that mean to me? Well, that's a good question. It's time for me to be honest with you. Spirituality to a lot of people looks like love and light, being saved, being renewed, happiness. Even though that's a huge part of it, it's one of the last stages. Spirituality to me is dark, depressing, sadness, insecurity, grief, guilt, shame, egotistical, anger, death, multiple times, pride, desire, apathy, victim blaming, blaming, pointing fingers, being mean, resentful, and damage. Spirituality, to me, is simple. It's just a journey back to yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean finding out who you are after years of being someone you're not. After years of identifying with your trauma. After years of people pleasing because of emotional and domestic abuse. After years of dealing with narcissism. After years of being left down and overlooked. After years of trying to be seen by your parents and them never recognizing you. After years of identifying yourself with pain and suffering. After years of identifying yourself with your shadow. Dark, depression, sadness, insecurity, grief, guilt, shame, egotistical, anger, death multiple times, pride, desire, apathy, victim blaming, blaming, pointing fingers, being mean, resentful, damage. The demonic part is only yourself. Nobody can be demonic if you're not demonic yourself. When we see evil, that's all there will be. That's all we will ever see. And the reason why we see evil, because we see evil within ourselves. God would have never shame you for being unaware of your shadows. God knows what you've endured. The abuse, the suffering, and the pain. God also sees that there is no love in the physical reality. God will never judge you for things you can't change or control. And God will never judge you on the way that you connect back to yourself. Because all God wants is for you to come back home. Which also just means coming back home to yourself. Which is the highest level of consciousness. Which is the God state, the God mindset, the higher self. This journey is just to bring you back to yourself. The person you were always supposed to be before you identified with your lower self, witches, darkness, depressing, sadness, insecurity, grief, guilt, shame. This journey isn't about others. It's only about you. The moment you make it about others, you're just showing the world where your consciousness truly stands. And it's your ego. But knowing God is knowing yourself. Real spirituality is healing yourself, the dark and the ugly, and loving all parts of your shadow, so that you can show love to your neighbors without shame, judgment, and projection. So you can love yourself completely without shame, judgment, and projection. Because the truth is, your shadows was never who you are. The things you went through were never who you were. You just stayed in this reality because you felt like you had to. What is spirituality to you?